The evening had started with high hopes, the streets glittering under strings of golden lights, each shop window a miniature winter wonderland. Emily had spent hours deciding what to wear, finally settling on a soft emerald sweater and a flowing skirt, her favorite scarf wrapped just so. She wanted tonight to feel special, perhaps the start of something new, a spark that could melt the loneliness she often carried during the holidays. When she arrived at the small cafe, the smell of cinnamon and roasted coffee beans wrapped around her like a warm hug. She spotted Mark immediately, sitting near the window with a polite smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. As they exchanged greetings, Emily tried to push away her nerves, asking about his work and favorite holiday traditions. But every response he gave felt rehearsed, distant, as if he were somewhere else entirely. The more she spoke, the more she realized the connection she had imagined wasn't there. Finally, after a strained laugh, he leaned back, glanced at his watch, and said softly, "I don't think this is going to work out." Emily forced a polite nod, her smile tight, hiding the hurt swelling inside her chest. The festive warmth of the cafe now felt suffocating, and for the first time that evening, she felt truly small, the echo of her disappointment louder than the carols around her. Emily stepped out of the cafe into the crisp night air, the cold immediately biting at her cheeks and fingers. Snowflakes drifted lazily from the sky, landing on her scarf and hair, each one sparkling in the glow of the streetlights. The festive crowd moved around her in a blur, families laughing, couples holding hands, friends exchanging gifts, yet she felt invisible, as if she were walking through someone else's joyful world. Every cheerful sound seemed to emphasize her own quiet despair, making her heart ache with the weight of rejection. She wandered aimlessly down the familiar streets, boots crunching in the snow, her breath forming small clouds in the icy air. Her phone buzzed repeatedly with messages from friends sharing their holiday plans, but each one felt like a reminder of what she didn't have. Emily considered turning back, retreating to her empty apartment, curling up with a book or a mug of hot chocolate, pretending the evening hadn't mattered at all. But something in the soft glow of the nearby Christmas tree pulled her forward, a tiny spark of hope that maybe, just maybe, something unexpected might still happen tonight. Alone and uncertain, she walked on, unaware that her life was about to shift in the most surprising way. Emily was lost in her thoughts when a pair of small voices called out her name. She turned, startled, and saw two little girls emerging from the soft swirl of falling snow. They were bundled in bright scarves and tiny mittens, their cheeks rosy and their eyes sparkling with anticipation. They ran toward her with unhesitant joy, tiny boots leaving prints in the fresh snow, and before she could react, they flung themselves into her arms. "Excuse me," one of them asked shyly, clutching a small, homemade ornament, "but, will you be our mom?" Emily blinked, caught between shock and disbelief. She looked down at their hopeful faces, the innocence in their wide eyes, and felt an unexpected warmth flood her chest. In their hands were simple gifts, cards drawn in crayon, ornaments decorated with glitter and stickers, yet the sentiment behind them was profound. For the first time all evening, Emily felt seen, wanted, and needed. The sting of rejection from her earlier date faded, replaced by a tender ache of longing she hadn't recognized before. Kneeling to meet them at eye level, she whispered, her voice trembling, I think I could try." The girls squealed with delight, hugging her tightly, and in that embrace, Emily realized that sometimes love arrives in the most unexpected, unplanned ways, sweeter and more enduring than anything she had imagined. As Emily held the little girls close, the world seemed to quiet around them. The bustle of the Christmas crowd faded, the twinkling lights softened, and the cold winter air felt warmer somehow. For the first time all evening, she felt a sense of belonging that went far beyond any fleeting romantic hope. Their small hands clutching hers, their laughter ringing clear, she realized that rejection hadn't marked the end of her night, it had led her to something far more meaningful. The girls tugged her toward the nearby park, showing her a small snow-covered bench they loved to decorate with their handmade ornaments. Emily laughed, her voice light and free, as they insisted she help them hang the tiny creations on the bare branches of a young tree. Each ornament told a story, and each story bridged a gap in Emily's heart she hadn't even known existed. When they finally sat together on the bench, sipping hot chocolate from a shared thermos, Emily looked down at their bright, expectant faces. "I think we make a pretty good team," she said softly, feeling tears prick her eyes. The girls nodded vigorously, their trust unshakable, and in that moment, Emily understood that love doesn't always arrive how you expect, it arrives when your heart is ready. That Christmas night, she didn't just find joy or comfort, she found family, laughter, and a home in the smallest of hands, forever transforming the way she saw herself and the world around her.